Hey folks, welcome to another edition of Super J Business Now. I'm Super J Business. I apologize, I haven't been around in a couple days, but we are back. We are going to jump right into the world news from local papers and from worldwide papers, nation, United States wide. This is the Lancaster New Era from Tuesday, July 19th, 2011. This is one of our local papers, okay? And it says Obama progress in talks on debt, but says he vetoed House cap bill. Okay, so basically, the deadline extended, and all we keep talking over and over again is about raising the debt ceiling. Okay, because on the next paper, same thing. Just the 10 papers I have laying here are all talking about this debt ceiling, and we're in trouble. The debt ceiling doesn't need to be raised. What we need to do is start printing our own money in the states and follow the Constitution. Okay. And it says here, and this is from the Patriot News, Monday, July 18th. The one I just showed you was from Tuesday. Same thing. Will the debt deal meet deadline? Expert is not optimistic. And everyone knows it's not going to, they're going to do what they want anyway, and they're going to keep taking our money, and it's just going to get worse, worse, and worse, and worse, and worse, okay? And so, you know, these three papers, that's what I wanted to touch on, is the fact that this is completely out of control, and it just doesn't make sense. And then you have something like this, and I want you to pay attention. New York Times, Monday, July, Monday, July 18th, 2011, okay? And here's the most important article I found. And it says, fast traders are under attack, and they defend their work. For years, listen to this is a quote, for years they have operated in the shadows, often far from Wall Street, trading stocks at warp speed and reaping billions, while criticism rose that they were damaging markets and hurting ordinary investors. Now, high-frequency trading firms, normally secretive, why they're secretive, I wonder why, because evil does their deeds in the dark. Good people do their they do their work in the light. Okay, so anyway, are normally secretive, are stepping into the light to buff their image with regulators, the public, and other investors. After quietly growing to account for about 60% of the 7 billion shares that change hands daily on the United States stock market, the firms are trying to stave off the regulators who are proposing to curb their activities. So basically, these gigantic bankers who are making billions of dollars and run 60% of our country, which actually in reality they're more like 100%, are getting so much criticism that now they're saying, well, they're finally going to come out from behind the wood and behind the darkness and start letting us know more about their companies and what they're doing. Listen, folks, you got a better chance of Santa Claus coming to your house in July than you do of them actually telling the truth, okay? And I just want to tell a small story, and it's about me, your buddy, Super J Business. I had a bad banking history. I made some mistakes as a kid, and that follows you for a while. Well, I just went to Wells Fargo because my check was issued from Wells Fargo, and they talked me into opening a bank account. Well, when I sat down with the banker, he explained to me that I said to him, I have a bad banking history. I don't think that you guys are going to be able to offer me an account. Well, they had some new thing called some kind of special account, and I qualified for that. It's to give you a second chance and restart. And we opened it up. We did all the paperwork. I put $100 into it to start it because I don't have very much money. That's about as much as I could put in to start it. And I walked away with my debit card, which I then used for the next 3 days with absolutely no problem and still had about $75 in the account. Well, magically, 2 nights ago, I went to buy lunch, and I worked the graveyard shift. I worked from usually 9, 10 at night till 6 in the morning. I went to buy lunch and used the card, and it said the card was invalid. So the next day, I made several calls because I was embarrassed. I had to borrow money from a coworker to pay for my lunch, and they told me to go into the branch and see them. Well, they made some phone calls and found out that here it is, a week later, it must have went through what's called risk assessment, and they figured that they didn't want me to have the bank account after all, and Wells Fargo didn't feel that I should be with their company. So after already approving me and qualifying me to be part of that and get my bank account, a week later, without notifying me, without telling me anything, they just shut me off, and so I have no access to my funds. Well, here it is. Now they won't give me my money because they claim that, and get this, you ready? Sit back, that there's a 7 cents, yes, 7 pennies from something that they claim was some surcharge that is still pending, and because it's still pending, my bank account will be locked until that 7 cents is removed, and then they can release my funds, and they would send it to me in the form of a cashier's check in August sometime. I said, I'm not a millionaire. I'm not even a thousandaire. I don't have money like this. That little $75 I need to eat and to make it through the week until I get my next check. Well, they had no sympathy. I was put on hold for 32 minutes only to get a voicemail. I've been treated rudely ever since, except for one gentleman who opened up the bank account for me, and I went over there today to speak to him. He got put on hold for almost 45 minutes. He was so flabbergasted, folks, that we now have a new info warrior. He even realizes there's something wrong with this banking system. When they can take an average Joe's money and hold it hostage and tell me we're not giving it to you until we feel like it, when I've done absolutely nothing wrong but try to use your bank, that's scary. That's very scary. And God forbid I had a newborn or something that needed to eat. I basically would have to tell my newborn that you have to wait till August until daddy's check comes? I mean, what are we even talking about here? How do these people have this power? You know why they have it? Because people like me and you stood back for so long and let our government get so out of control and let these bankers get so out of control that they no longer serve us. We serve them. They tell us what to do. They've become royalty almost. They do whatever they want, and we have to sit back and take it. And that's not the way the government works. That's not what the Constitution states. That's not what our founding fathers set up in this country, and that's not what millions of people died for to give us freedom. Our country has been stolen from bankers and from the global rich elite who use our government officials as puppets, including our president, to do whatever they want. And they are slowly but surely taking this country over until it's going to be a third world country, the American dollar collapses, and we're in big trouble. So, folks, we have a big problem here, a big problem. I'm dealing with it and seeing with it firsthand. It's all over the newspapers, and we just read that. And we need to stand up and fight, folks, and take this country back. We need to get Ron Paul in as president. We need to start tuning into Alex Jones. We need to start calling each other, contacting each other through YouTube, getting videos out, and getting the people aware of what's happened to this poor country. Check my past uploads up. Start watching them. All of its good world news, business, everything that's going on in the world. Then go to my favorites. I have almost 700 favorites of nothing but information that will get you where you need to go to understand what's happening in this beautiful country that we call America. It's time to take the power back. In ending, I want to let everybody out there that's watching know that we're going to do a couple shows on me personally. And what I mean by that is if you've been watching my show and been tuning in, you'll know that I was arrested a couple weeks back for some bogus charges that they're trying to push on me. Well, I don't have money to obtain a lawyer, which would probably have me walk out of the courtroom with barely any trouble, so I have to deal with a public defender, which is tax-paid and probably has over 100 people on his caseload. Anyway, I saw him Tuesday, and needless to say, we got bad news. Looks like over a stupid misdemeanor, supposed terroristic threats, here we go, folks, you know what we're talking about. They want to put me in jail for that. They want to take a guy who works full-time, who goes to church, who takes care of his family, and who is fighting for freedom and constitutional rights. They want to take me and stick me in jail. They want to set an example and meet their quota and conviction rate. Well, starting tomorrow, we're going to do a whole show on what happened, the facts of the case, and then we're going to give you the number to the prosecutor's office. And if you feel that my story has any validity or that I deserve justice in America and that I should have my freedom, then I'm going to ask you guys to call and say a word on my behalf to tell them how outrageous this system is and that we need to fight back and that Super J business should not be locked up. Because I'm trying, folks, and I need your help just like you need my help, and we all have to stick together, talk to our neighbors, and we have to show up and tell these politicians that you're here to take care of us. You're not here to do whatever you want for your personal benefit. You're here to benefit the community and the country. And everyone's out of control. It's just completely out of control. I want to thank everybody again for tuning in. It's you guys who make this possible. I love doing this. I'd like to see more views. I want to see more people subscribing. Tell your friends, pass the message. Again, this has been another edition of the Super J Business Hour. Peace in the Middle East, peace in America, peace wherever you live. God bless you guys. Godspeed. Let's fight the power. Let's fight the war, and let's take back our country so that our kids and grandkids have a future, so they have a place like we did and we grew up in. And we got to start over. We got to start over, folks. We got to get Ron Paul in as president. We got to do the right thing. I love everybody out there. I wish everybody the best. I will be back tomorrow to do some world local news, and then we're going to start. Like I said, we're going to do the videos on my personal life and the false conviction that they're trying to pass on me and put me in jail, so that maybe I can get some help. I'm asking for help. That's right. I'm asking for help from you guys. So starting tomorrow, I will put the number up, and I will give the number to the prosecutor's office, and hopefully some of you guys will take some sympathy on me and make some phone calls, and we'll free Super J Business before they lock them up and throw it away a key. God bless. Good luck. Thank you for tuning into another edition of Super J Business Hour. You know, let's stick together, folks. I love everybody out there. Let's stick together. This is our country. This is our people. We the people. We the people. Why stand on a silent platform? Fight the war. F the norm. This has been another edition of Super J Business Hour, and we will see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot, folks, for tuning in.